That's great. We should top it up for the
Yeah,
heads of these agencies. But I have not said anything that is a personal attack on anybody.
on
This
Twitter.
is about the long-term process. It's about the long haul.
On Twitter.
We could have a lot of different mayors,
On
and they could appoint a lot of different people. We had a commissioner who had to resign because of corruption under this administration. And I didn't want to name that, but I'm naming it. So I'm not saying this person is a bad person, but we need to have the checks and balances in place. So I'm gonna stop now, and I have not in this forum attacked anybody. And I agree. I was raised by public servants. Both my parents were veterans. My mother has been a civil servant for over 30 years. I grew up with government servants. So I have the utmost appreciation for people who work for the people and work to make city government or any government better. We all deserve that. But I'm going to turn it over to my
Thank you.
colleague.
And then Councilmember Shauna Brew, you're up, so come on.
Thank you. I just wanted to address this and say this isn't about this council or this mayor. Advice and consent is something that has been talked about for a very, very long time, not just in the city, across the state, but across the country. The speaker of the city council, our speaker, Adrian Adams, has been talking about and advocating for advice and consent since before this mayor was in office. So I just want to be clear, this isn't an attack on this mayor. This is about accountability, transparency, and democracy, as we mentioned. And regardless of who the mayor is, regardless of who the council members are, advice and consent is something that would be law should the people of New York choose to make it so beyond our terms, right? We're term limited. The mayor is term limited. This is something that we're trying to create as a measure of furthering democracy and accountability and transparency. I also want to mention there are close to 100 commissioners. Currently, we provide advice and consent for about a dozen of them. This is simply asking for roughly 20 more. This is not asking for advice and consent or proposing advice and consent for every single commissioner that exists. It's not proposing advice and consent, for example, for emergency responders. This is a very select group of commissioners that we have identified as a body to say these are the folks that we believe the city should have more of a say in who is running some of these agencies. And I also want to mention that this council has approved every commissioner that has come before us. There's actually been no commissioner that we've turned away that has been proposed and presented to us by this mayor. So this isn't an opportunity for us to just decline or reject anybody. It is truly opening the democratic process. Thank you.
Thank you. Ruben Diaz Jr., I think you had a comment? Yeah. Ruben Diaz Jr.?